Two pedestrians were struck and killed by an 18-wheeler logging truck. A man was shot. It happened around 8:20 p.m. The fire crews have been able to contain that fire, but there still is a heavy blanket of smoke. This truck hit this bridge head on, and residents are saying, what is next to stop this? Wear a face mask is a saying we hear every single day. Good evening. It has been pretty quiet outside the governor's mansion, but one thing that hasn't been quiet tonight is the local reaction of both parties. Saratoga has opted in the licensing of adult-use marijuana dispensaries. You first type in your zip code, and then you click the option Pfizer vaccine, ages 5 to 11. You can see behind me that 200-year-old tree was completely uprooted from the ground. Now, the cause of the fire is still unknown as of now. Of course, as we learn more information, we will update you on air and online. Reporting in Waterville tonight, I'm Spencer Tracy, News 10 ABC. Many people came together once again for the tragic loss of Aishan Davis. Aishan was a unique 11-year-old boy. He wanted to work at such a young age, had a great smile, and he will be greatly missed. Now today, many people wore royal blue and white in his honor. An outpouring of royal blue and white gathered to show some support and mourn with the family as 11-year-old Aishan Davis was laid to rest.
A sea of blue, and it was absolutely beautiful.
His family and friends gave their final goodbyes by loading the casket onto a horse-drawn carriage. A procession of cars made their way through the streets of Troy. They passed his family's home and ending at St. Peter's Cemetery. Kenneth Zioli of Equality of Troy say the service highlighted the special boy that Aishan really was.
There was singing and laughter, and we talked about his favorite color and his favorite foods, and he loved grilled cheese and how who his best friends were, and we conversated about the memories that we had of him.
Aishan's death has sent waves of shock and pain through the community and city of Troy. He was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting on Old 6th Avenue. Zioli says Aishan was against gun violence, and they will continue to fight for change.
He wanted to be that change, and for his life, and he still brought change even afterwards. He's bringing change to this day, and we'll continue, like I said, we'll continue to save the very city that he asked us to save.
Aishan Davis was known for his infectious smile and always wanting to play with his siblings. His name will never be forgotten.
Aishan Davis, Aishan Davis, Aishan Davis.
And my nephew, his legacy will live on. Aishan Davis will live on. His name will live on.
Tim and Tricia, it's a type of call that doesn't happen very often, and it's the only trench rescue team in the capital region. They worked hard to make sure the man in need of the rescue could keep a very important date this week. Fighting the clock and working as a team. The Colony Trench Rescue Team are not your average firefighters.
It's a rescue that doesn't happen every day, and you have to stay sharp to your training.
They are trained in conducting trench rescues, and their skills came in handy on Wednesday night when a 50-year-old man repairing a water pipe became trapped in a trench in waist-deep mud.
I know our guys were in the trench for a long time, but there's no way you were going to get them out. You were going to have to pull them out with a winch because they weren't going to get out until he got out.
Jack Moser was one of the many men working in the trench, and his team stabilized the ground around them. But they faced some challenges.
And the mud kept coming in around him, so we had to find ways to kind of barricade him from the water as we dug it out.
Chief Jeff Kaiser says rescues could take hours, and part of their job is to make victims feel comfortable. In this case, the man's leg was bent in a way he could not be easily pulled out.
It takes on a personal level for everybody in the trench.
So you get kind of close to him, and then you kind of bond with him.
It was the epitome of team effort, with 70 different firefighters playing a role in removing the man safely from the trench.
It makes you really, feel good when you look back at all the work you did in training and then find out, hey, this really works.
And good news tonight, the man is out of the hospital and is doing well. Because of the trench rescue team, he will stand up for his wedding this weekend. Every piece of art telling a different story, but with a singular connection.
I wanted to convey life all around it, and everything that you see here is life.
Mary Jenks knows just how precious life is.
Even plants and the flowers.
Her daughter Abigail was a paratrooper for the 82nd Airborne.
She was so strong.
Every day may not be a good day, but there's something good in every day.
Earlier this year, Abby died in a tragic training exercise.
The guy said, "Your daughter." And I just jumped up and I wanted him to stop talking.
She was only 20.
Every bridge from the airport to exit 16 was completely full of emergency vehicles, fire trucks, police cars. And I would watch as we went under the bridge and they would salute her.
After the final salute, Mary was at a loss for how to cope and needed something more than pictures and mementos to bring her peace.
This is Abby's room, and there's a lot of things in here.
She found it by creating a special memorial for her daughter.
Instead of mourning somewhere, I just kind of come in here and reflect.
Reflect and admire her daughter's many talents, medals, pictures, and hundreds of pieces of art, all on display.
There's just such a wide range that Abby had this balance in life, and that's what I see in her artwork.
When the pain and loss would not leave her, Mary turned to social media to connect with other parents who were grieving the loss of a child.
This one's my favorite.
Really?
Suddenly, she was not alone. Gold Star mom Kim Vandenberg lost her 25-year-old son, also in a tragic accident.
And when I opened the door, I just fell to the floor crying. It was the worst day of my life. The very worst day of my life.
Her son Nathan served as a cavalry scout in Alaska.
Always trying to keep everybody happy.
No matter how dark the situation, he always made people smile.
He got along with everybody, and the girls loved him.
Meeting for the first time in Abby's room,
Here we are. Oh my God.
Abby's room.
I love that.
a shared tragedy
It's hard. I know.
transformed into a moment of understanding, a chance to heal
So glad you came.
through the power of each other,
I'm glad you invited me.
and inspiring new beginnings.
Join together and make a bond. So we will definitely be bonded for life.
It is comforting to know that I'm not alone, even though sometimes I might think that, but it's just like to know someone else knows what I'm going through.
After her passing, Mary Jenks is now sharing her daughter with the world,
Live life to the fullest. You don't have long.
keeping her tough little soldier alive by showing the world that in darkness, you can find light.
And it just reminds me that we don't know how much time we have, and I think it's a message for everybody, like every person.
It's like Abby's here.
I know.